I want to share something very special here. When I was in California before I got detained, we had a school there and I wanted to do another school, the Luke 10 school. But there I felt very strong. God said, no, don't do a school. The people you need to train are already here. You need to bring this into the churches and not just let people come to the schools. And then I got detained and God did a great work in us or in me while I was in jail. And he really put a heart for me when it comes to the churches. And now we are in Mexico, where God have opened the doors to work with many churches. And now, today, for the first time really like this, we are doing it. Now we are doing Luke 10 trips. Now we have been training churches in what the gospel is, preaching the gospel, being led by the Holy Spirit, healing the sick, casting out demons. Churches have been trained. The same way we have been training students on the schools, we have been training churches. And today teams are being sent out all over to do exactly this. So here there is teams, we are taking pictures now of different teams who are being sent out. We are putting those pictures in a WhatsApp group where people share the testimony what God is doing during the day. And they are now there praying. Different groups are praying before they go out and hear what God is saying to them, where the Holy Spirit is leading them. Then they come here to the whiteboard where they write the team name, like the chosen one, and or the walkers or white flags or full of the Spirit or different team names. And then they say what God has been saying to them about, like where they're going, who they feel the Holy Spirit led them to meet. And then they report back here to the headquarters where there's prayer during the day. And then we can say like it's happened as God told them what will happen. And this is what we are doing, and we can all do that. We did it actually already last weekend with one church. There was one church who was out, and the testimonies was beautiful. Like there was one girl especially, she got a name of a person, and they saw different things about that person, and they went out, the Holy Spirit led them to that person's house. They heard the name of, and it was a woman that was very, very sick who experienced a lot of healing, and it was powerful. It was really, really powerful. But this is what we are doing. And again, we have done this many, many times with schools, and they have been really amazing. And for you to have been on a Luke 10 school, you know how amazing it is. But now it's not a school, it's different churches. And we will send out like more than 100 people today. Last weekend there was 20, 30 people out, and many is going to take it in and do it again and again with the whole church. So this is what we are called to do. Like when we look at Jesus tell a parable, a man have two sons. He said to one of them, go out in the harvest. And he said, yes, but did not do it. He said to the other one, go out. And he said no, and then did it. And he asked, who of those did the will of the Father? And the answer is the one who did it. It's not just our confession, it's what we are doing. And when Jesus gave us the command, go out, make disciples of all nations, that was not the only thing he said. In Luke chapter 10, he also told us specific how he wanted us to go out, make disciples of all nations. How the harvest is great, but the workers are few. So we prayed a lot of the harvest to send out workers. And then he sent us out as lamb among wolves. Don't take anything with you. Listen to the Holy Spirit. Go into a house, find a person of peace, enter into their house, heal the sick, cast out demons, preach the gospel, and then stay there. And this is what we have been teaching and training them in the last month, 2 months, where we have really gone deep in what is the gospel, how do you share the gospel. We have been, for example, we have been training with some cups here, I bought here, where we have what we call the cups and cookies. We have the gospel cards, a good tool to share the gospel. And so now the first teams are being sent out here, you can see here. And this will happen like that through the whole day. So people are coming in through the whole day, teams are being trained and then sent out. So I just want to say, It's really a fulfillment of what God spoke to me in California, that we need to bring this into the churches. And I know that where I am, Mexico is a training ground for that. It's a test ground where we are testing what we have been doing so many years with different schools all over the world, training schools, that we are now testing how do it work to bring this into already existing churches. Churches who meet on Saturdays or Sundays, churches who meet during the week, churches who already have a program, churches that is different because those churches here are very different. Some is more house church, some is bigger churches and more traditional churches. And it works. I just want to say, guys, it is working. What we are seeing is beautiful. And so many testimonies are coming in. And it's not just about this Luke 10 trip, it's about our everyday life. And I want to share some testimonies the next days of some of the things God is doing here. So I want to say to you pastors and leaders out there, church leaders, do this in your church. Train this, not just teach the people in the church, train them. They're not only called to hear the gospel or know the gospel for their own sake. That is the first step, but then teach them and train them how to share the gospel with other people. They're not only called to be baptized into Christ, they're called to go out and make disciples, baptizing others into Christ. They're not only called to be filled with the Holy Spirit, they're called to go out and lay hands on other people so they would also be filled with the Holy Spirit. Train them how to do it, and then as a church, send them out. One time a month, a few times every half year, gather the church, send them out on what we call a Luke 10 trip, where they go out a whole day or go out 2 days making disciples. It will change so much. It will change the people that we meet who will be born again and healed and set free, but it will also do something in the disciples. Like last weekend when we have a team out, it changed them. It brought a unity to the church because they was doing it together. And what I said there is that you doing things together bring a unity. You become one because you now have a memory together. You have an experience together. You remember how the Holy Spirit led you and how God used you. And that testimony you can share with those people you are out with, and therefore it brings you together because you have something in common. You have an experience, you have a testimony. And you don't see that just by sitting in a church and hearing a sermon or hearing preaching. We need to stop just being hearers of the word only, deceiving ourselves, but we need to be doers of the word. And the whole Luke 10 trip where you train and gather people and then send them out, it is powerful. And now we have a WhatsApp group where people are starting to report in testimony. Hey, we met somebody who got healed, or hey, this happened, or the Holy Spirit lead us there, and it encourages everyone else in the WhatsApp group. So testimonies coming in. For example, just yesterday before this, we saw 2 people meet God. Like one on a restaurant, and one guy was a guard who worked with like a security where we need to drive in a place, and he was there and he got healed in the shoulder. And then we share the testimony, and other people get encouraged, and they think, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. And then they start to step out. And this is really what we are seeing. We are seeing people stepping out. We are seeing life coming back to the church, and it's truly beautiful. Yeah, I've been talking a lot here. Pastors, leaders, do it with your church. Obey Jesus. Train people to do the same. God bless you. Hey, I just want to follow up on this video I just did. It's now 7 hours ago I recorded the first video, and people are out. More teams came, more teams were sent out, and so many testimonies have been coming in. I can just put up some pictures in here. Here you can see pictures of people being prayed for. You can see pictures of people being baptized. Several people already given their life to God, being baptized. We have seen a lot of healings. A lot of people met God. Me, myself, I was just in a home just like a half hour ago. You see a picture here, I prayed for somebody, fell down, experienced God, got prophetic word, people was crying, people was amazed, people met God. And so many testimonies are coming in. And the day is not over yet, I'm just home a little and then we'll go out and do some more. I want to encourage all of you out there, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Go out, it's time to obey Christ. On our website, The Last Reformation here, there is a page called The Call of Jesus. There is a book I've written about Luke chapter 10. You can go in and read it and get it. You can read it for free. Also write to us and we'll give you a free copy. And there is a video series called The Call of Jesus where I talk about how we can do it. And it is not only in Mexico, this is all over the world, no matter where we are. So I just want to end up the video with this, and then I will come out with more videos the next days of some of the amazing testimonies. God bless you all out there. Bye-bye.